everybody. Welcome to the inaugural episode of 97 to Infinity. I am your, I guess, co-host because there's three of us, DJ Harding, the Harding way, if you will. I had to go get my two favorite women's basketball talking heads. We got Gabby Alpha B. I always butcher your last name. I am so sorry. And then we got Sports Talk with C. So, guys, before we start talking all the, sports and whatnot, how are we doing?
It's a storm and it's whack. But other than that, before guys, happy Indigenous Day, people. Shout out to all my Native Americans, and I'm proud to be Native American.
All right, Gabs, how you doing?
Same, I'm in the middle of the storm.
I know.
My lights are flickering.
Yeah, the perks of living in another state is not having to deal with the same storm. But speaking of storm, not Seattle though, but the storm of the Aces and WNBA champs, 3 and 4 years. Just before we get into all the other stuff, let's just do some recapping of the finals themselves. And I think the biggest thing being that game 4, the ejection of Nate Tibbetts. I don't know how I feel about it. So I want to kick that to one of y'all first before I give my thoughts because that was kind of wild.
Okay, I'm gonna start because I don't agree with the ejection. I'm sorry. Like, I know he was in the ref's face and I know he went up to her, but I feel as though like he didn't touch her. He didn't. It was a heated of the moment. And sometimes I feel like you have control of the entire game. You have control of the momentum. You have control over everything. And in that moment, I feel like some grace could have been given. I mean, he could have definitely got a tech, absolutely. But like to be ejected, I just don't feel that way. You could have fined him after something. That's just how I feel. I feel like I get it as a woman. You should never go. He's a man. You should never go up to her. He was all in her face in his ear. Granted, I don't know what he said, and I'm not going to speculate to what he said, but I don't agree with him being ejected.
I mean, I also agree that I don't like that he shouldn't have been ejected. Also, the technicals were really close together, like really fast, like just like that. It's almost like they could have been the same one. And uh as a professional and as a referee, you need to like not let your emotions like get in the way of your refereeing, and she definitely did that in that moment.
Yeah, well, the refing has been rough all season, as we know. I mean, we've been chucking out fines for that. I feel like if he stayed on the sideline, I would have been a little less in the middle. But I'm like, he really did jump off the sideline on the court in her face, and I'm just like, I feel like if this is a regular season game, I would just be like, I wouldn't care. But because of the moment that is the finals, I'm like, I feel like you have to give him grace. But I feel like if that was like a regular season game, like we covered a Connecticut Sun, I'd keep it a buck. If Rashid would have jumped out in the middle of like one of those regular games, I'd have been like, yeah, he should have probably been thrown out because that was kind of wild. But since it's the finals, I almost feel like a little bit more grace has to be given, but it's still like I can't like it's him jumping off the sideline for me. If he just from the sideline yelled and they threw him out, I'd been like, that's crazy. But like to jump off the sidelines, technically in the middle of play, in her face, I'm kind of
Mhm.
like you were kind of almost asking to get thrown out. And I get the heat of the moment, I get it. That's why I'm kind of like in the middle, but I still am like you were kind of asking to get thrown out, Nate, because that was wild.
He was there. They were also like down like by three whole games. So come on,
Yeah,
like
like
come
you,
on.
you got to get the frustration there. They're already getting
Yeah.
cooked. But then also, I mean, granted, I know Asia won Finals MVP, but real quick before we like get into some of the stuff about Asia, can we give AT some credit for playing through that shoulder injury? Because that was actually insane. I don't know how she came back because I definitely thought like, oh, she's over. She might not even play on Rifled. Like I really was like, oh goodness, like she might as well get them labrums repaired, like the whole knot, and then 20 minutes later she just got some band-aids on it and it's just playing like she never left. Like that was actually insane. And I gotta give AT some credit for that one though. But then also I guess like from the Aces side, a question I had to ask y'all, like who was the most underrated performer in that series? Because I think for me, it's gotta be Dana Evans, but I want to see where y'all heads are at on that.
I feel like there's two for me. I'm gonna say, of course, Dana Evans, not only with her ability to score and the ability to have aggression, stand up for her, be the dog on the court, talk that smack, but also I have to give it to Drew Lloyd too, because we
Mm.
were so unwavering. Like, what is she gonna do? Is she gonna show up? Are we going to see the Drew Lloyd that we're used to showing? She is coming off the bench. She's not used to that in a playoff, in a finals moment. What is she going to do? But even when Drew wasn't scoring, she was coming from the right side, the left side, getting rebounds, swatting the ball out, and just doing all the little things that does not show to make herself hot. And then what? The last two games, she shot four threes in the first quarter, and
Yeah.
it was just wide open for her from that moment. So I want to say those two would be my two that just brought something that I did honestly didn't expect.
Yeah.
I would first go with Jewel as well. She also her story, just like what she's been through in the past few years, and no one really talked about her performance after this series. Obviously, everyone's focused on like Asia Wilson and Jackie Young, but she's definitely like very underrated in my opinion. Uh, the second one, honestly, I might switch over and say AT because like the just she always just the disrespect she always gets and
Mm.
she got a triple double in the
And
like
this
fourth game
season,
and no one said a peep about it. And she now has six of the eight triple doubles in postseason history, so that's pretty crazy.
I think AT does definitely go down as one of the like most underrated players in the league. I
Hmm.
feel like we'd have to go deeper to see like who else would be up there for that, but like she's definitely, I'd argue, almost like number one because she's almost like normalized getting triple doubles when it's not a normal thing
absolutely.
to do.
It's
And
not.
yeah, I mean, I
And I
guess
think that's a lot of people forget that. Like just
Hmm.
because it's only maybe be 12, 10 and 10 or 12, 12 and 16 assists, but it's like you still can't take like that is not easy to do. That is like at all.
no.
And people just, well, it's low. And I feel as though if she scored like she was scoring in the Minnesota series when she was up at 20, it would be looked at different if each of her triple doubles were a high scoring triple double.
Yeah, I agree with you that. See, I think if it was a 20 10 and 10 or 25 10 and 10, they would be taking it way more seriously than her 15 10 and 10. But no matter the fact,
Hmm.
it's still a triple double. And I feel like that does go very much like kind of under the radar. And
Hmm.
then I say, if anything, too, the way she makes her teammates better. Like, I mean, no disrespect to a Kalia Copper or a Satu, but like that team does not get there without AT.
No, not this season, not at all. Not this season. And I just wish, and we all know, we all seen it covering Connecticut, when she's frustrated and she wears it on her sleeve, it just like trickles down to the entire team. And it's just like, I know, AT, I know you're pissed because I'm pissed right with you. But just like, because like you just, they follow suit. And it's like when she's going, when she's moving, when she's aggressive, when she wants to score, it's a different Mercury team, especially when they touch the ball, when they move without the ball. The early shot selection with 22 seconds on the clock was killing me, like absolutely killing me, because I'm like, you didn't even move the ball. Then you have no transition defense. I was like, what is happening? I was so upset. That was just blowing my mind. Is the early shot in the shot clock?
Yeah, it was rough. But going to the other side, I will quickly give a shout out to Chelsea Gray because she's now the only active player with four championships. That's got to go for something.
She's clutch, yo. She's
Yeah,
clutch.
I mean, different beast. But speaking of one Asia Wilson, I have to pitch the question and start some trouble because I know there is the ongoing GOAT debate. And before we get real deep into it, I guess the real question is, do you consider her the undisputed GOAT? Do you think
No.
she had no?
No.
No? It's just me? Uh-oh. Let me start some controversy. I honestly feel like I get she still got time left, but I really
Mhm.
feel like even to what she's done at this point in time, I really do think she's got it. Because the only, if you look at some of the other people that are up there that would be in this conversation, like I feel like the one B in these conversations is always Maya Moore.
Mhm.
My thing is Asia's pretty much kind of almost matched her resume in like sort of the same amount of time frame, give or take like one more championship. But even still, she's got the back to back. Maya won every other year. And then all the MVPs compared to Maya and the defensive player of the year. So I feel like for that reason, I feel like Asia kind of already's locked it up. But I'm willing to hear some disagreements from the crowd now, so I'll let one of y'all come fight me back. But I think Asia's got the top spot locked up right now, if you ask me.
For me, and it's just because I heard our great friend Tarika talk about not putting a stamp on a player that's actively still achieving and breaking records, and we still just don't know what she can do. And I think that's what for me is like, what else can she do? What else is she going to set the precedent for? What other record is she going to set the standard for? Like for Maya Moore, if you guys know, I'm just gonna put it out there, that's on my number one right now. The reason why I have Maya Moore up there is because when she left, my question is like, what can you do? Like I know when you come back, if you decided to come back, I just felt it in my bones that like there's so much more Maya could have gave us, but I knew she did the humane thing, which takes courage, it takes ambition, it takes passion. So shout out to her because her calling did change, but I just feel like knowing like I'm no, what is left, what can she produce, and I'll never get to know, and that's always going to be the unanswered question when it comes to Maya Moore.
Mm.
That's why that keeps me at number one right now.
I also have my more at number one. And it's like a movie cliffhanger, like her career.
Mm.
And I felt the same way.
Mm,
I was like, but she has so much potential, like so like still, and she already had 4 championships. It was just like, I don't know, it's just something about Maya Moore and her confidence and just the player and person she is that put her up there for me.
Yeah, I will admit the cliffhanger, that's a great way to put it, because
yes.
knowing that there's a world where it could have been her and Fee is kind of insane. Because unless my math is wrong, like she still could have been playing right now and still been in like her, because like she's still in her mid 30s, right? I'm not, am I?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like she definitely could still be playing like right now.
Hmm.
And that, when you think about that, like that does definitely leave a bit of a question mark on what could have been a great what if you will. I always love to play that game. So that's an amazing one. But I just feel like because like she did stop her career short, like that almost like in a way for me like hinders her, because I admit the way I see it like a resume when you think these goats, like it's like almost like a resume, like what have you done? And I feel like her resume is in a sense cut short because she stopped sooner. And so as much as you're like we can't put a stamp on Asia yet, I'm like I feel like her resume is already better, and all she's gonna do is just kind of push the finish line to catch her just further and further away as time goes on and she keeps playing. But that's just me, I ain't gonna lie, I know that's just me though.
I mean, when you're leaving to go fight for social justice, that's a different type of.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like when
Yeah,
you
that
think
is
of
so
that,
different.
that's just a different type of like wow. Like you
Yeah.
know, so it just still to this day, it's just thank you because not too many people will do that.
Fair. But now for what I'm hoping will probably be our most controversial segment of the show. Due to the Undisputed GOAT debates, we decided to make top 10 all-time WNBA player list. And so I asked the very fun question of who wants to go first?
Um, do I have to like explain every single one? Because that will take forever.
I say just list them and then we
Okay.
will
Okay.
go from there.
Okay. So I had Maya. Then I
Okay.
put Asia second. Um, Diana Taurasi, Nafisa Collier, Brianna Stewart, Candace Parker, Sue Bird, Lisa Leslie, Tamika Catchings, and Lauren Jackson.
Hmm.
It's
Okay.
interesting.
Oh, wow. All right. See, you want to take it away or should I go?
Okay, I have Maya Moore,
Hmm.
Asia Wilson, Cheryl Swoops, Diana Taurasi, Tamika Catchins, Cynthia Cooper, Lisa Leslie, Candace Parker, Lauren Jackson, then Sue Bird.
All right.
We had a lot of the same, a lot of the same people, just like different order.
And well, and here's where I realize I'm going to burn the room. But here I go. All right. I will go one, I went Asia Wilson. Two, Maya Moore. Three, I went Cynthia Cooper.
Mm.
Four, Cheryl Swoops. Five, Lisa Leslie. Six, Tamika Catchings. I got Tarasi at seven. Lauren Jackson at eight. Candace Parker at 9, and I put Sylvia Fowles at 10.
I like it. That was my 11, Sylvia. And that was the bat. Like I was like, okay, Sylvia, or do I go Sue? Do I go? And I chose Sue for my 10 spot.
I can't believe y'all put Sue up there. I realized that to me is a little controversial. Sue don't got no MVPs, y'all. What we doing? I'm sorry. I think no finals MVPs, no MVPs. I don't think Sue deserves that
She was
top
just
10
a
spot.
prolific scorer to me, and the way she did it, the assist title that she has, I believe, you know, she was one of, I know we'll eventually see more, but like her just being in that point guard position, getting people involved, and having championships, I believe that gave her the 10 spot for me.
I mean, she's she's a point guard and she's a true point guard. You don't see that very often anymore in the WNBA. And yes, like she doesn't have MVP awards, but like have you seen her passing? Like some of the passes she's made is absolutely insane and she's been able to like turn to like different teams into championship teams. I mean, Lauren Jackson earlier and then later on Jewel and Stewie. Like it was just impressive to me that she was able to lead throughout her entire career like that.
Okay. All right. I don't know. I just for me that was controversial. Also, Gabs, you really had some recency bias on your list. Stewie and Fee, I don't know about that one, Gabs. I'm gonna need you to have to defend those takes real quick, because
I
what?
need to know the Nafisa Collier one and the Brianna Stewart one.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some
Um,
explanation.
well, Stewie, I'm looking at her entire like life career as a basketball player. She is the
Okay.
only, well, besides Morgan Tuck and Mariah Jefferson, to win 4 national championships. Then come into the WNBA and in like the first few seasons win a championship, which was impressive to me. Then she goes to a different team. Like she's always like the center of the team that she's on, in
Hmm.
my opinion. So like when they're winning, when that team is winning a championship, like that team was like on her back. Like without her, they none
What
of
do you
it.
have her? What number you have her again?
Fifth after Fee.
What do you have her again?
Oh,
You
what?
have Fee in top four?
Yeah.
Wait, wait,
I
wait, wait, wait,
so
wait,
okay. Listen, let
wait.
me let me let me just say something. I said this to
Repeat the
DJ.
top five again. No, repeat that. Repeat that top five again.
I am more
You have Maya, Asia, hmm
DT
Asia Wilson,
Fee Stewie.
DT.
Okay, I said this before you before you were able to get on this with DJ. But I said, well, you know what's, well, actually, maybe you were on it, but you were grayed out.
It's the lack of
We
Houston
was having
comments.
technical.
It's
I
the
have a reasoning behind this. There was a certain lens on mine when I made this list because of the fact that I I didn't watch a lot of these players live growing up because one, I was too young, then they stopped televising it, whatever. Um, so like all I've seen is like highlight clips and then I just see their resumes. So it's hard for me to be able to like compare them to players that I could say are probably equal, could be equal to them.
Even on a team that won four.
since
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, because they play in the same team, I do sometimes mess them up. But if I'm not mistaken, when I did this, Cynthia Cooper has 3 MVPs. That's right? Is it her or Cheryl? I always mix them up at times.
It's Cheryl.
It's Cheryl. Okay. Well, one of them's got 3 MVPs. The other one's got all the finals MVPs. Like, how? How? I feel like a good basketball reference, Gabby, would have saved you from me being very confused by your list. I ain't gonna lie.
To
I
not
mean,
have to not have one of the Houston Comets
right.
in your
Either one had been
top
good.
five is crazy work. But you stood 10 toes on your list, so
Yep.
I appreciate that.
This is the
Mhm.
fun of this
I
conversation. This was the purpose because
this
comments are
this
coming.
this side list right here is all those players. the older players. Like I'm not even kidding.
I was
But
like,
like there's
these,
one of them is like the like oh God, the pioneer, the one who recorded her first triple double,
you
like
know,
Yeah. Well,
wow.
the dynasty.
You know, the dynasty.
well, what about the Yukon dynasty from Stewie?
We're talking W, all right? Because that's the other part of
W.
it. Because that's as much I respect the Stewie like life basketball. I'm like, but the rules were in the W. Because then at that
I
rate,
mean,
we're
we could talk about dynasty in, in college one day if you would like.
yes. If we want to open up the conversation though too, because if we're opening up the convo to just life career, then Sharon Miller jumps this conversation. It makes this so much more complicated. So
She really does.
because
Like
she,
that's so many people like, what's your I'm like, guys, not basketball, well, just WNBA. And
97
yeah,
to now,
that's it.
hence the name of the show. Because, but yeah, well, yeah, we're gonna have to agree disagree on that one though. Fee at four is kind of wild.
That's crazy work.
B4
But
Stewie 5 really set me. I can't lie. I was good with you. I have Tarasi at 7, but I was still like, all right, I'm willing, all time leading scorer. I can settle for 3. Like, then you said that one. I just had to, my eyes got wide. I ain't gonna lie.
we
That was
both
wild.
did.
I know. We're so bad. We were just like,
We still love you, Gabs. We
of
still
course.
love.
Because no, you stood 10 toes down, and that's what I respect. So we can definitely put this out on the socials and let the comments do our work for us.
Oh,
No, I'm just
thanks,
kidding.
guys.
No, I'm just
I mean, hey, they're gonna love 97.
yeah, they're gonna love it. But speaking of the dynasty, as we laughed about our Houston Comets, the Aces now have 3 championships in 4 years. So now I guess when we're talking great dynasties, where do you rank these Aces right now? Because I feel like me personally, if they get another one, I think they might have the spot. But I still got to give it to Houston because
But
they,
they went back to back.
yeah, Houston went 4 in a row. That's like that was
That's
insane,
different. Like I don't think you can take that away from them until it's redone.
which
You
is
know what I'm
never.
saying? You get what I'm saying? Like I feel as though like in order to say that you like, yes, Aces are up there. I would say Aces for me are number two just because they have the 3 in the 4 years. But to go win 4 WNBA championships in a row, it's crazy work. That and the team that did it, the way they did it,
Mhm.
when they did it, it was
Yeah.
pure basketball.
Nah,
It
it
was
really,
it was pure basketball, and I loved it.
yeah,
Yeah, no, 4 in a row is crazy. Like that's
insanely
never
good.
happening again.
No,
Cynthia Cooper was she
yeah.
was
Never
she
happening.
was she was
Well,
gone.
Season informed us all that the Houston Cops will stay her favorite dynasty forever because she said just the one top side. I said, well, that's not happening.
I
It
mean,
is.
you hey, with the talent coming in, you never know what can happen.
I'd argue there's too much
Uh,
parity. There's too
yeah,
Yeah,
much
you're right.
parity in the league. There's too much free agency team swapping. That's
yeah.
never gonna happen. Unfortunately, that's just not the truth. I feel like if the Aces get 4, because I mean I feel
Right,
like that's it. Kind of almost weirdly hints to like the when you talk about like the NBA with the whole like when there's more teams. Like I feel like eventually like that will kind of play a part. So I feel like
right.
that's why I'm kind of willing to give the Aces a little bit of like if they win next year, it's basically 4 and 5 years. Besides, like I feel like I'd have to give
Yeah,
it to them.
Mhm.
I feel like the Lynx are
it would be a
definitely.
greater argument. Absolutely.
Oh, it'd be an amazing argument. I feel like right now they do sit at the 2 spot. I think the Lynx dynasty is obviously
Yes,
3. I think that's got to be 3. And I don't
yes.
think there's has there ever been a other WNBA like dynasty per se besides those 3? I don't
No,
think
No,
everyone
there
else
has.
has like 1 or 2 or
Yeah,
yeah, no. That's just it.
yeah. But I definitely
It's
think
just like the record is the Aces, man.
yeah, they're wild. And I mean, but I really do think that because I think before the season I'd have had the Lynx at 2 and the Aces at like 3 per se, and I think they now with the
Right.
3 and 4 years, I think they
Stamped
hopped.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they jumped the Lynx just because the as much as the every other year was amazing, it's also still was every other year. You know.
But I think for me with the Aces, I think it's because they started the way they started and then
Mm,
ended the way they ended, completely got tested the first and second round, and then just demolished
yeah.
the finals round.
Oof.
Like that was it.
Yeah. Honestly, I asked this the other day to somebody. I gotta ask y'all. Do you think there's been a in any sport almost? Because I definitely don't think in the W. Has there been a greater turnaround than that Aces team going from 500 out the playoffs to winning the W final? Like, because I was trying to think of it. I don't think there's any in any other sport there's been a greater turnaround than that.
Not that I could think of, but
Oh,
like I don't follow every single men's sport, unfortunately.
I'm just
I don't. I would say for the sports that I know, I don't. I don't think there has been
right.
a greater turnaround. I think the number two for me would be what was when Chicago were the sixth seed and they won the championship this year, and that's when Carr won Finals MVP.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
would be the
Like yeah, like I'm really thinking about it. I'm like that
even
post
in the NBA. No,
Yeah, you
like
can only say like individual like comebacks.
players. Yeah, you could do
Yeah.
players maybe like have a better second half to the season or finish off strong and then kill in the playoffs. But team wise, I don't. I'm not. I
like
don't.
I'm
None's coming to mind
right.
that could top that. And the only one, second one is when uh Chicago Sky was the sixth seed
I'll
and
Yeah.
have
got
to
the
look it up
championship.
though.
Yeah, that is definitely one of those like I've been trying to wrap my head around it, but I don't think there has been another team that turn around like because that's the thing that really baffles me when you think about it. It's like they were literally out the playoffs. And in this society, when you lose, they're trying to fire coaches and who we
But that's when we
traded.
all said that if the Aces did that, if Asia got them to the two seed to finish the year, that's what topped her MVP conversation. We
Hmm.
literally said that. And
Yes,
that's exactly what happened.
yeah, because that's the wild part too when you think about it, and that's one of those things that I think will forever go down as one of the craziest parts of this season was knowing that you at the beginning of the season, see, literally told me about July-ish. You're like, this is Fee's MVP, and the only way she loses this is if she gets hurt, and then she gets hurt, and
Thanks.
literally the Aces turn it all the way around, like that crystal ball effect. Like that has to be one of the wildest. Like,
We all know how hard Cheryl plays them. And I don't think it's necessary, Cheryl. I think they don't want to play, they want to play hard, but we've seen it in the past. We've seen it time. Why are they still in the game? And the motor that she had, I just I just knew it. And what happened? That happened in the fourth quarter, which she should have never been playing. And I said, and I was like, see, this is what happened. And we just, like you said, the Aces just went from 0 to 100 quick.
real quick.
Yeah, to clarify, that was earlier in the season injury, just so everyone knows that's what we're talking
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, no, the early, yes.
Yeah,
My
the Aces for
earlier
83.
August injury.
Yes, the
Yeah,
August one, not
Right.
the most
not the
August
controversial
injury.
injury in all of sports history. Oh my word. My oh my. Speaking of, I guess the team that did quote unquote injure her, the Phoenix Mercury, going back to them a little bit, knowing that they went from, as you said, a very controversial, path in that getting to the finals with that last game there. Then they get swept. I just, how do the
I
Mercury?
wasn't expecting that. I
No,
was not expecting
either.
that.
oh
A
no.
sweep? Mm-mm.
I mean, when you expand to 7 games, you expand to 7 games with the intent of this is at least going 6 games, at least.
Yeah,
And
Nope, four and done.
yeah,
I was shocked.
and yeah, it was wild. I
They
mean,
need a bench. They have to get a bench.
I was
They
gonna say
need to
that.
have people that can score
Mm-hmm.
outside the bench. Like they need it. Like it can't just be one player. It can't be DB one night and then, another player another night. It can't who else comes off the bench? DB
at Whitcomb, I guess, right?
Whitcomb, but she was horrible in the first 3 games. She
Yeah.
finally got a shot off. I don't know if it was the knee injury. They just didn't have the same bounce in them. They didn't have the same aggression. They didn't come out with the same type of intensity to win the game. There should have never been games that Carr didn't touch the ball in the second half. They wasn't the turnovers. They
Oh,
wasn't moving
sheesh.
the basketball. They just did not play Mercury basketball. I don't know if it's the Aces. I guess we got to give Aces credit for the defense that they played to disrupt the entire team like literally disrupted, yeah, excuse me, everything
Disrupt.
that they, thank you, disrupted, thank you, everything that the Mercury was doing. But it just, if they're gonna come back next year and continue, I feel like they have to get back into that rhythm where they were moving when they were shooting the ball from three like crazy, where they at least touched the ball 4 times before they shot it.
Hmm.
And I mean, they say you live by the three and you die by the three, and they just kept chucking that three ball up. And it's like, Satu, go in, get an
Yeah,
easy
like
bucket,
you're one of the
get a
tallest people on
jumper.
the
Like,
Thank
what
you,
is
Gabby.
happening?
Thank you, Gabby, for pointing out something with Satu that always baffles me sometimes. Is her
I'm
being
like,
that tall and shooting
what are you
threes.
doing? Like get in the
Like, go
paint.
to the,
Like you're
like
if
something.
you're
But
gonna
my
be
thing
like
is like use
unstoppable.
AT the way that we know she's capable of. She knows she can pass. Set her up with all the shooters that you have. You're not. You didn't even get back on defense. Can we not? Because this brings back. Oh God. Because
See,
I
he's
couldn't
getting
be a
Connecticut
coach.
flashbacks.
Oh boy.
I couldn't be a coach because then him in game one when they was discombobulated and he didn't call a timeout, nothing. I'm telling you, the Aces disrupted the entire
Yeah.
chemistry for the Murphy, from the coaching staff to the players to everything, because it did not look like the same team. It didn't.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that the sad part isn't it with that way that series went was they almost won game one.
They had to win game one.
Like it's the way that will go down as like in this series is one of those very pivotal. Like if they would have just won that game, this whole entire series probably the momentum completely shifts.
It would have been if they would have won that game one and they stole game one in Las Vegas. I'm telling, it would have, the energy for the Mercury would have been on a different level.
Yep, because now you kind of have the advantage now, and like that watching that one, and then like the way the game two went, and they just got blown out the water. Then game three, like by game four, it was kind of like the momentum was
Game two was the game that showed me, like, okay, they don't want it.
yeah,
Yeah.
They didn't want it because I felt they had no energy. No one was being aggressive. Ka didn't score in the second half at all.
Which is crazy. Like
You
that's
shouldn't,
part of
that
your
should
big
not
three.
ever happen in a finals game. In a game period, she should not be not scoring the basketball in the second half. They kept shooting up the three. Sammy was non-existent. They couldn't get any bench points. You know, Akoa was doing some things, but they switched her on Asia. There's nothing she could do guarding Asia. It was just it was just like game one was the game where Asia was just human. She didn't really do what she does and go crazy. Jackie Young didn't have a great game. That was the game. Those free throws, the words free for a reason, them timely free throws, and the turnovers really screwed it up for that game one.
yeah. That was
Yeah.
definitely their opportunity. They squandered it. I will give that some credit, but like I guess going into this off season and this off season, all off seasons, which we'll get into a little more later, I knowing that they do definitely need to get a bench piece or figure this out, it really does turn into a just how do they go about that? I feel like who's one person that you guys feel like they could add that would very much help?
Well, I think they need a shooter. Like, to be honest, like this is kind of crazy, but like maybe it will work. Like Enrique, like an Enrique, if Enrique like gets back to like shooting again and like, is in like a better offense than she was this past season. But for the Mercury, I don't think they take this as like a loss. Like it was their first season together as a group. I mean, New York didn't win it the first season together either. Like it's you nearly never win it the first season you put together a group like that. Plus again, no depth. Like they had no depth. So like Alyssa Thomas was probably burnt the hell out by then.
Oh, definitely. I mean, but that's what they did to her in Connecticut, as we all saw firsthand when they had her play 35 minutes a game all season. So I think that definitely did catch
Give
up to
me a
her.
dog. Give me a dog who
Do
can
you
score.
do you
Give
have
me
a certain
Kennedy
person?
Cotta. Give me
Oh,
Kennedy Cotta.
oh, you're
Give me
starting
Oh,
Kennedy
we're
stuff.
bringing her
Cotta.
back.
Oh, you're starting
Give
stuff.
me, give me Kennedy Cotta. Give me Kennedy Cotta because she's a dog and she could score. And to have two dogs on the team with AT and give me it. Give me,
Yeah, but
give me. I'll take Kennedy Carter, and
Oh,
I will take
we need to pause for a second because she was unsigned.
why.
Did you forget? She's in Mexico. She's living her best life out there.
I understand that they can so absolutely go get her. That is fine. They can go
Signing
to
body parts.
Mexico, bring her to Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Kennedy. At the end of the day, bring her back because we need to see her in the league. At the end of the day, she's scoring 40.
I
Okay.
She did get the sportsmanship award when she was in China.
I just
Listen,
what it
sometimes
take.
we don't be knowing what's going on in them locker rooms. Sometimes people need to hear the truth and don't like to hear the truth, and that's what really ticks people off.
I will give you that.
So she might have said some things, but sometimes things need to be said. So if you bring her back just because she can score and give me a dog, and then I would say give me somebody.
It's to assist Satu, I think. She needs help a little. She's not like consistent enough.
Honestly, wait, we're
Give me
not.
Shakira Austin. Give me Shakira Austin off the
Why did I
bench
think you
with
were
the
just gonna
Mercury.
say Shakira for a sec? Like,
I can't lie. Wait, we're just gonna. We cannot. We have to give a little more extra time. You think that they would actually go get Kennedy Carter? That is not a bad idea for that team. But I feel like we all know good and well they are not letting that girl back in this league.
I just feel as though that like I just feel as though that like with the team with Ka, Satu, AT, DB, she fits perfectly.
I don't. It's not even I don't think she fits perfectly. I just don't think they're going to actually let her back in this league. My other pitch besides Kennedy or Shakira or Enrique, all I think
Excuse
great
me.
choices. I would make the argument that they need to get a little bit of youth too when they do it. So
Hmm.
I'm going to jump on the Cheyenne Sellers train because that's a train I've been on for a while, as he knows, and I'm going to keep pushing that. I think
okay.
that's a guard that they could get, and I think that would work. I would also in a way, even though I feel like the size would, I guess, I don't know how they would do about that, but if we're getting scores too, Diasha Fair, I think she needs to
Deja
finish.
Fair.
Yeah,
Mm,
I always mess
Yeah.
up her name. I always do that.
Deja, bring her
Yeah,
in because she could score. She could
she's
score. Hmm.
yeah.
I like that.
there's a lot of players that were cut that like definitely can benefit any teams, which I was very surprised that like no team signed some of them during like that period right before it ended and closed, the deadline closed, because what are we doing? Like why like I don't know,
Thank God we have
I
these
know.
new teams,
like
but
look at like Chicago, Dallas, and Connecticut. Like what are you doing? Like you're having a losing season. Like I I know that there are some players that you can take off that roster to put a few younger and maybe more talented players on it. Um, I
Let's
don't know.
not name names.
No,
Even
I'm
though
not
I
gonna
know,
name
even
names.
though I know, I definitely sitting at some of those tables for games definitely was naming names. I won't do that today, but I will admit, and that's something we're gonna have to do probably later
It's
on
a
a different
business.
show. Yes, on a different show, we're gonna talk about is definitely who teams should protect. I think that's gonna be a big part too when it comes to those expansion drafts. I mean, just think, look at what Veronica's Burton done this year. And I
Mm.
definitely that's going to play a part. I think that's what works for Phoenix though, is because their depth is kind of limited when you can only protect so many people. It's kind of like a very obvious who you protect.
right.
And that's where I feel like going outside the league per se. And that's why, as much as I laugh at how wild her season was in Chicago, the Kennedy Carter take is not that out of pocket because they're going to kind of need all the help they could probably get. I mean, I guess more on a rookie side. I don't know, or incoming rookie side, that would also complicate things. But I just
But do
it's
they
too.
even have a pick?
I think they have. I think they have a second rounder or something. But also,
Mm.
we're so far out. That's a can of worms that I'm not touching to
Hopefully
at
we have
least.
a league.
Well, and speaking of that, and I'm glad you kind of brought that up because before we quickly touch on the future of this W, I guess in a bit of a hypothetical here, as we're talking about the future of Phoenix, assuming that we are playing next year, what teams would y'all consider early favorites? Because I do feel like Aces, obviously. I would go Phoenix, and
I
then I
I'm
think
gonna go Minnesota.
Uh-huh, because I don't think they're gonna change that much. I think they're gonna keep their core
I think they're
because of
gonna
injuries.
I think they're gonna I think they're gonna keep their core, but I also think they're gonna add somebody that can do the little things for them. Because I know we missed Dejanay, when she got injured, because when she came into the game. But I think for Minnesota, like they're prissy. You feel me? Like not really prissy, but like when it comes to like basketball, they're prissy. They need somebody that can get down and dirty for Minnesota. Because I feel like that's what they don't have somebody that's like a true dog. And I feel like you see what the finals gave this year. Well, we didn't really get to see because they got swept, but well, we'll say the semis because that went to, game fives. So we'll talk about that and how it was a dog fight. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel as though, like with Minnesota, they're going to keep who they keep. But when they do look to either make trades or bring somebody in based who depend on how injuries go, they need somebody that is not afraid to get down and dirty because they are prissy.
And with the addition of Nay, like we didn't really get to see a lot of
We
Dejanay.
did. We didn't get to see much.
So I think that's gonna make a huge difference, and it would have made a huge difference in the playoffs if the whole team was healthy.
okay.
Like I probably think it would have maybe been Minnesota versus the Aces, and we might have gone to 7 games then if we had healthy rosters.
Yeah, the injury is
Yeah,
is is
injuries is
terrible.
bad.
Speaking of injuries, I think a team that on paper I'd consider an early favorite, only because injuries kind of pretty much derailed like their entire season. I feel like New York still deserves a hand in this fight. And maybe
Yes, they do.
I was
Well,
like,
we don't know
Yeah,
because they don't have the coach. They don't have a
yeah,
coach, so we
that's
don't
why I
know.
said if they
well,
had Sandy still, I would say yes.
But
I
But
we
like
don't
that
know.
players may leave now because they loved Sandy. Like what if she takes someone with her?
yeah, y'all got me. Yeah, yeah, you're cooking.
I I don't know. I think some of these teams are cooking right now. Like as we speak, like they are on the phone cooking
oh,
Like
some of these like
Sandy, all that Dallas better make that move
they're like, Sandy, please bring this player with you. You need to convince them. Yeah.
to come to and work out with this. And we got this draft pick and this. You what? They're on that phone making business proposals quick. Because they listen, you want me? I'm a winning coach, championship coach. I need
you said
let's
Sandy and
see.
Sabrina in Portland.
Yeah. One of the best coaches to ever exist in the league.
Come on. Mm-mm.
Every team wants her. Like, come on. Like New York is a little crazy in my opinion for that, but
To say we're going in a new direction was crazy.
what new direction? Like she's one of the best coaches ever. Like who are you gonna get? Like right now that's
Crazy
available
work.
that's better than her. I don't see it.
Honestly,
So
this them firing Sandy brings back a point that I feel like I say across all sports. And we are in a society where if you do not win now, they get rid of you at the first sign of trouble. And it's a very bad way we are about in this like in the sports as a business. Because you're telling me a year removed from winning the championship with all the injuries, you still get rid of her is absolutely insane. It's absurd. But
Mhm.
then even to that, like I think of back to how I felt with Weatherspoon, where they didn't really, as much as you could talk about whatever chaos you want with that team or whatever have you, they did not give her enough time to build something and build off of something. And I really
Mhm.
think this is a recurring theme. And I will be honest, I very much was afraid, given how the society works, that I thought our own coach in Connecticut, I thought he was getting chopped until they fixed their second half. I thought he was cooked, Chad. I'm not gonna lie. But it definitely, I definitely feel like with Sandy, that was a wild decision. And I will admit, where she's going next, my money's on Portland. My money's on Portland. I don't know if y'all have any early predictions, but my money's on Portland for Sandy.
I'm saying I think Dallas.
Mm.
Because how do you pass up the opportunity to coach Paige Beckers? You don't you like
She said,
and depending on who they get in the draft pick, it's like it's just what they have for their future, being Paige and then, having that real combination between her and Enrique and then who they're going to bring in. Because, Enrique was hurt
Their whole
as
team.
well as JJ was hurt.
Yeah.
And
It's
then didn't Rui go down as well
I think. Yeah, you're
with
you
a
got
torn
me.
ACL? Yeah.
Oh
She went
yeah.
down with a torn ACL. Yeah. So it's like their whole team was hurt. So to see a healthy team with the pieces they have, with a piece that may be coming in and a new coach that knows how to win, I would say that's my, forefront for where she would go.
yeah,
I don't want to say too much about the expansion teams because I feel like the expansion teams already know exactly who they want.
mm,
Fair. I feel like that plan had to get flipped on his head though when you realize that she's available to get. I feel like
yeah.
that was one of those you call whoever you had and be like, hey, I hope you understand, but we gonna have to at least try. Like, but
Hmm.
Yeah.
speaking of, I guess the expansions of next year, um, dear God, are we even gonna play next year? Speaking of next year, these CBA negotiations. Now, I will admit, I am grateful that it seemed like they're making some progress, offering 850
Hmm.
max and a 300K minimum. But
Mm,
do you guys think that we're gonna play this year and not have a lockout?
I don't know.
well,
Honestly, I'm in the middle just because I feel like the players aren't playing this year. I mean, I don't feel like they ever play, but I feel like they're at a point where it's like, yo, stop playing in our face, please.
mm,
Then the commissioner pulled some shenanigans with this presser that she should have just never even had to make the situation even worse.
yeah. And then
And it's like, it's not like it's Fee does not do anything like when it comes to non-basketball stuff. So for her to come at you respectfully the way that she did, there has to be a problem. And
mhm.
then to players to say that they're more closer with the NBA commissioner, it's crazy work. You don't reach out to your players when they retire. Like
Mm.
Elena Deladon, do you know what she did for this league? No, like for real. Because if you don't reach out and say congratulations, you don't see Candace until All Star.
Yeah, like
That's
6 months later.
crazy. Like, no. And I feel like what they always say, you are as good as your leader. And then it's like, okay, then, well, maybe we need a new leader.
Mm,
Mm, that was a
yeah.
bar.
It's just like so in that presser at the finals, she was like doing fine, like at first. Like she was just kind of like putting it to the side, like it's kind of what you're supposed to do, like that's PR training. But like you can't like deny one thing and not deny the other because now it's like this messy thing. And then also now you're basically calling one of the an MVP candidate a liar. Like you can that looks so bad. Like
She
like
should have just never had it. You said what you said in your comments, and that was it. And it's like you only had the presser because you got so much heat for your statement.
Okay, can we
At
laugh
the end
about
of
the
the
statement?
day,
Can we
her
laugh about the
statement was
statement? That was rough. Because here's my thing.
hmm,
That statement, the one key thing that statement truly missed, if anything else, was if you were gonna stand on the I didn't say that, you have to outright be like, I didn't say that. She jumped around, like she didn't take ownership of it, but she also didn't deny it, which to me is now worse. Because I was like,
yeah,
all right, now you're not disagreeing, but you're also not like you're not agreeing, but you're not disagreeing. Like that's very scary to me. Like Fee's like, you said this, you said that. Like Fee had receipts. And Kathy was kind of like, nuh-uh. Like that's all she really did. And I'm like, but you need to really much be like, I did not say that. Or be like, that was me, my bad, and let's fix it. Like she just did a bunch of like just meddling around it. What she said, there was inaccuracies in the reporting. I was like, what reporting? We all going off the same recorded 10-minute soliloquy she gave. Like, what you mean
yeah,
inaccuracies? How do you mess that up? Like, oh man, I feel like the relationships being so strained, it is definitely a very ugly look for next year. I mean, I'll admit where I am a little more hopeful in the last recent weeks since the statement or fees Tuesday afternoon pipe bomb of an exit interview is at least you have the money going up because I was afraid the way she was talking according to these statements like they wasn't going to try to give them no pay raise. But also, it seems like the NBA commissioner, who's technically in a way, I guess you could say, like Kathy's boss per se, the fact that he's like, no, something's going to get done. I'm like, all right, if we need at least some cooperation from both sides, and due to that, I am a little more hopeful than I was. You talked to me 2 weeks ago. I was like, we not playing next year, and I was like, we're cooked. Like, but now, given some of the stuff coming after, I'm a little more hopeful, but it definitely is still in a very ugly place. I don't think it's happening by the deadline, by the way.
The
I think it'll be, I
31st
think,
is the deadline, everyone.
no, I think mid-November,
Yeah,
early
they extended it
December.
last time. Yeah.
Like, I
I
think they'll
just
still
want them
play.
to remember, whoever's the leaders are, just remember that the product is the players and it's
Mm,
only going to get better. You're not going to lose money. Stop being scared to put your money where your mouth is.
Hmm.
It's going to continue to grow. Like,
It,
and I think that's just what a lot of it is. It's just like we're scared that we're going to put too much out there and we're going to lose it. And it's like, no, you're not. Trust me, you're not. Don't worry about the actual fans that love basketball. Don't You're worried about the trolls. They're gonna still be trolling. They'll still be there. It's okay. But the real fans are gonna be there. And like we talked about earlier, pre-show, the talent coming in is only gonna get better. So stop being scary. Put your money where your mouth is and pay them exactly what they deserve.
mm.
exactly. And like again, I think it was Natasha Cloud had like put this out on social media, but she was saying that Kathy was missing the biggest opportunity to be a girl's girl. And like she even said in her presser that she's a mom, and it's like you're a mom. So like I don't know, like that just rubbed me off the wrong way that like she's acting the way she is. And I mean, also you get to like she's acting like it's a chore. Like you get to build relationships with WNBA players. Like that is probably one of the coolest jobs you could have in the entire world. Like so many people would kill to have that job.
It's
So
like you
like come
have all
on.
those players, you have so many different personalities,
They're
you
all
have
so
so many
fun.
different cultures, you have so many different vibes. It's like embrace all of your product, your players, your employees, or however you want to put it. There's so much you could do, there's so much you can show, there's so many things you can do behind every basketball player that is in the W
Her life would be more enjoyable. Come
to
on, like
grow. You know,
I
when people resonate with a Chelsea Gray. You know how many people resonate with a Brianna Stewart. You know how many people resonate with a Zanaya Rivers. You know how many people resonate with Dejanay Carrington. You know how many people like there's so many people that you could just sit there and just make this week the person we're gonna talk about this week because you are missing out on an opportunity but showing these great ladies off.
I admit
Like, do
though,
you the vibe Sanaya gives Kathy, you're missing out.
I will admit though, I still have to sit there and giggle about the parent line because it was definitely her trying to play victim, and I think it was only funny because the person that she's playing victim of, I am a mother, is someone who's also a mother. Like that kind of was that was very fun for me. The irony of that statement. Also, when you have a league of bunch of people who are also moms and playing, like mind you, you're in a finals where Cheyenne Parker Tyus literally just had a kid who's playing 2 months later, here you are basically like, I won't pay her, but don't be mad at me, guys, because I'm a mom. Like that made me laugh. I can't lie. I probably shouldn't have laughed, but I did. Like it was because it was just
It
wild
was
her playing
fake.
victim. Yeah,
There was
it
nothing
was
real about it. It
it was
was
her playing
nothing real
victim, and
about
I
it.
couldn't help but giggle. And like that moment you asked me, I told you I'd have been like, when she said that, I was like, oh, we're not playing next year. I was like, we're cooked. Like I was just like, oh,
We're
there. I
done.
was like, oh, there's gonna be a lockout. Like I was just like, it's slow. But I admit, like it seems like they're making some sort of progress, and I understand it's a business, so I understand even the players like this is what we want. Like if it would be too simple knowing how businesses work for them to just agree right away on, oh, here's what you want, cool. Like
Right.
there's gonna obviously be some strain, but I'm like at least what seems like a decent like we're getting towards a middle ground of near somewhere that's at least better than an improvement. So for that, I'm like, thank goodness it seems like we're gonna make some sort of progress. But yeah,
Mm.
them them comments was wild. And I can't
Well,
sit here and because of those comments, I'm like, you know what? I see why you got booed. I'm sorry. I see why you got booed. I know she looked tight and she probably was about to say into the mic, I'm a mother once again. But you had it coming because
You did.
it was that was just a bad look. Like I think the only other time I've seen the commissioner get booed that bad in any sport had to be Goodell after the Patriots won the Super Bowl after he suspended Brady. I remember that when I was like 12. Like that's maybe the only other time I've seen someone get booed that bad. And I was like, yeah, this is looking rough for you, Kathy.
and the players' faces, and ESPN kept having to blur the screen because people were flipping the camera off.
That was gonna be just as good as the pay to players one when they kept trying to switch the camera angle and it was like, nope, you're not running
We're
this.
here. Right. We're still
It's
here.
it's the blur, like it just was so bad. Like the blur, like it was the whole screen was just gray, and I was just like, why didn't they just like blur like that section? Like, don't they have the technology for
Just take a different camera angle when you show Kathy. Like at that point, just look at an entirely different angle, a zoom in or something, because
that?
the
Like when
blur.
they zoomed in on that object that was thrown on the court.
Geesh,
It's
let's not go
stupid.
there.
They went like the camera was literally like, I don't like, let's see what it is, and zoomed in, and then they were like, oh no, whoops, didn't see that.
Yep, but
They
Mm-mm.
switched so fast, like it was like like the camera.
but yeah. But no, with these CBA negotiations, it is definitely a slippery slope. Because also, I'll admit, when we think about like some of the stuff they've said, I think the only thing that I'm kind of like I feel like the players are being a little overreactive of, and I've talked to y'all about this before. The only thing that I feel like they complain about too much for me is the refs. I feel like the ref complaining is a slippery slope because as much as Kathy was out of pocket for her comments, she technically was not wrong when she said you only complain when you lose. I'm not gonna lie, she was not wrong. But I feel like that was not Kathy's place to say that. Like I feel like you're supposed to, as a leader, be like, we'll figure it out. Like that's not your place to say that. But I do feel like besides that, like all the benefits, the travel, the money, I'm 110 tones down with all the players. But the refing part, I'm kind of like, I
But
do feel.
do you
I
agree?
agree. I
But do
disagree.
you think that the refs suck this year?
I think they were really rough.
All
I'm
right.
not gonna lie.
Exactly.
I'm
That's
not
the
gonna lie.
point.
I
That's the point.
Yes,
Yes, we're a
I
stepping
think,
stone for the NBA. All
I
our
just,
best
yes.
go.
I think that's the point. Like it's sometimes it's good, sometimes it's subpar, sometimes it's horrible.
Yes, I feel like the refing has been just inconsistent. Like if there was a
Yes,
very,
that's the word for it. It's just inconsistent. And it's just like all
but
we want is consistency. That's it.
I do feel like in the like for me watching, they do seem inconsistent. But I do feel like the players they're only playing when they win because I admit it's inconsistent, but I've watched it be existent to help teams and hurt teams. Like like I've seen as much as inconsistent. I feel like everybody's getting the fair share of the inconsistency. That it's not like
Mhm.
to complete complaining about it. It's kind of like yeah, it's inconsistent, but like many things in this league, it just needs some improvement. Where I feel like I feel like with the refs a little bit it's I tell you it's a slippery slope because like even like for instance like many times as they complain about the refs like AT is a perfect example. I feel like one of the things that is cool about this game is them still playing physical in the post basketball. But the issue is depending on which ref you get and which day, it's all over the place. And I feel like
Right.
that the injury heard around the world almost. I don't feel like that was necessarily truly a foul, but because of what how inconsistent these calls have been all season, like that's where most of that controversy comes from. And then that's where AT it's really you're hindering her play because that's her style of play is the physical in the paint like post bully that depending on how consistent we're trying to be now it's really messing with how she's supposed to play. And that's why I feel like that's the one slippery slope in all this is just with the refing. I feel like it's just a little slippery. But besides that, like I said, besides that, I am 10 toes down with the players for everything else they're asking for. So it's very simple.
We'll see, right?
Right. We shall see. Oh gosh. But hopefully we will
We
get to an
have a
agreement.
league.
Hopefully we
Exactly.
have a league.
That's it.
That's all we're
Hopefully we
asking for.
come to agreement and
And a draft and an expansion
the
draft
just,
for the championship team.
exactly. So we're just, make these negotiations count, make them worth it because I don't want to lock out, guys. I will be sick. So can you not do that? Come
Right,
to a great agreement and fix things, be a great leader, work together, and figure it out.
right.
That's all I have to say.
There's a reason why everybody watches women's sports. And hopefully soon we'll say everybody watches 97 to Infinity. That's a wrap for today, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate everybody watching. Thank you for watching. I guess I can say it. Toodaloo.